If you pick up a fourth case, holy moly, I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Do you understand? I want my community safe. When you're out there, you need to make the right decisions before you do something. Think, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? And if it could lead to a bad result, then don't do it. Do you understand? Can you run his license to see, does he have a valid?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Okay, you're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance as well. Do you understand? If you don't have car insurance, you cannot drive as well at all until you have a license and car insurance. Do you understand? Okay. Do we have any conditions, on the terroristic threat?
Judge, I got assigned to him, he's already in the back.
Correct.
And so I don't know if there was anything with the previous case. I know one of them is against the brother. My understanding that I think.
So I guess tell me about it, Alex, please, on both terroristic threats. Who are they?
Terroristic threats? Yes, Judge. So on the first terroristic threat, the complainant and the defendant are brothers. Dispatched to a residence in regard to a family disturbance. The defendant was removing the complainant's belongings from the residence and putting them in the back of his own vehicle to prevent the complainant from getting his things. The complainant tried to remove his things from the vehicle, and the defendant stated, "I will kill you." The complainant was in fear for his life when the defendant said this, and the defendant also later texted the complainant that if he touched his things again, he would cause him severe pain.
This is the second one.
And the second terroristic threat occurred on October 26, 2024, when the officer was dispatched to a Crunch Fitness. The officer made contact with the complainant, a manager at the gym, who stated the defendant was involved in verbal and physical altercations with other members of the gym, and multiple complaints were filed. The complainant stated the defendant's membership was canceled due to issues with other members and the defendant making threats. The defendant then continued to act aggressively after finding out this information and caused a disturbance by screaming and cursing loudly. The complainant told the defendant he needed to leave and not return. The defendant became more agitated, left the business, returned multiple times, and when the complainant stepped out with the defendant and told the defendant not to return, the defendant responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
Okay, Judge, I would argue on that one. I'm gonna come back. I don't see an immediate threat or anything like that, any brandishing of anything or.
You're right, it's the going to that we.
Repeat what the threat was again?
He responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
I'm gonna come back, I think that there's enough to go forward. Don't go back to these places. I don't want you to have contact with either of the complaining witnesses. Do you understand? I'm gonna have you sign these bond conditions, make better decisions when you're out there, Mr. Jenkins. At some point, someone is gonna stop bonding you out and you will be stuck like Chuck in there until these things are over with. And it's gonna be a long time. Do you understand? You've asked me to give you a different lawyer. This isn't Burger King where you get your way. I will not give you another one. If you're unable to get along with Mr. Perez, then probably not him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He may tell you things just because you don't like it. It doesn't give you a cause to complain and I don't like this person. No, he's going to give it to you. I've worked with him for many, many years. I trust him. He does a good job. That's why we gave him to you. You understand? Okay. So we'll have you sign these bond conditions and after that you'll be free to go. So he was not, I guess, having a good time with the prior lawyer.
Sure.
So,
I've spoken with his mom already over the weekend.
okay.
We had a really good talk about what was going on. I didn't know if she was gonna bond him out as soon as she did, so we're about to go have to talk to the factory about it.
My guess is though, is that if it's mom, she's not going to continue to do it because every time she bonds you out, all you're doing is you're giving free money to bonding companies. When you pick up new cases, all you're doing is you're giving money away. And I'm sure your mom doesn't have unlimited funds to just keep putting money away. Get a clue.
Just get a clue.
What do you do for a living?
I worked for Uber because the job I was doing,
No, I just want to know, are you fully employed?
no, not at the moment.
You need to get a job. You have too much time on your hands and you become self-destructive.
It's hard to get a job because of my record.
Just listen to people.
It should tell you something. Do you think it gets easier in life? No. don't even have convictions and it's hard for you to find a job. How hard do you think it's going to be if they end up in convictions? Do you see my point?
Sir.
Make better decisions. 95% people are in there because no self-control. All right, Matt.
And Your Honor, on both the terroristic threat cases, there are previous conditions from.
Yeah, I will just have them sign those.
Okay,
Yeah.
Judge.
So
The security signed on mission for terrorist threat in November, but I'm gonna get the reckless travel ones for him to sign right now.
okay. Is it, how do I pronounce your first name? See, Nia? Okay. Ms. Barrett, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. The officer spoke with the complainant at Spring High School in Harris County, Texas, and the officer retrieved a video footage of the event. The video showed the defendant turn to the camera stating ready, and then began striking the complainant multiple times with a closed fist to her head and face as the complainant falls to the ground. The complainant stated she felt pain and showed multiple signs of redness on her face.
Okay, it's in the actual high school, huh?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Barrett, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. Do you understand?
That was, I don't.
I want you to listen because these are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons as well. Do you understand? Do you have a lawyer today? Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer? Okay. Can you file those conditions, please, Alex? Okay. So what I need you to do, ma'am, is, are you 17, 18? You're 20? Are you actually in high school?
High school?
Are you, you don't go to this high school, right?
So I have.
Stop. I'm only asking you. Then you're not to go back to this high school. Do you understand? All right, so I need you to fill out an application for me. Deputy's going to give you an application, and then I'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, all right? Oh, please. Hi,
Hey, good morning, Judge. I got two new cases this morning. The first one,
wonderful.
Barrett.
Okay,
She's in the box. I didn't know if you need the conditions on her. It's an older case.
it is. And so what I was going to do is give you guys a setting, okay? Like a normal 30-day setting, but at that time, she's got to come back here. She needs to make addition on what she's got to do.
Okay.
Case is 250 days old, so I'll give her one setting. Come up, Ms. Barrett, come up. No. I'm thinking of someone. This case isn't that
It
old.
was a 2B. It's like 4 years old, 2B.
Okay. I was thinking of another case. Okay, Ms. Barrett, so we'll just give you normal, just setting. I've given you a lawyer, ma'am. I'm not asking much. All I'm asking you to do is don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact with your lawyer. If you take off on us and we don't get to hear you or he tells me that you've gone AWOL, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. You understand? Okay? Good, that's it. All right, ma'am, just take a seat for me. Blossom. Do you speak English, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
You see, Vari, I want you to understand and appreciate that you have a lot of lawyers that are going to bat for you now, trying to help you even get out. Your lawyer here is asking for a PR bond. You even have the state that's in agreement to get you a PR bond. The only thing that we're asking you to do is be safe to our community. Don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact with your lawyer. Right now, I'm going to grant you a PR bond, but I'm not going to do this over and over and over and over and over. I'm going to give you one chance to get out there and do the right thing, make the best of the chance that you're giving. But if you get out there and you just take off and you don't stay in contact with anyone and you pick up a new case, all bets off. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not asking for much. All I want is my community to be safe and for you to stay in contact with counsel. That's it. Okay, so I'll grant you the PR bond. Looks like the bond is already set. We're going to set it out for a week because you're still at no bond upstairs. So we don't know what's going to happen in your felony case. So we'll set it off for a week and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me about this one here. Who's the complaining witness?
Dating relationship boyfriend.
Okay. Does he want to have contact with her?
He's not, we haven't really been, he hasn't been cooperative with, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what he wants other than to drop charges, really.
So I want you to understand that I am going to grant what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Mr. Rodriguez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate threat or harassing behavior, and you cannot be in possession of a weapon. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll take off the residential restriction just in case, but everything in the MOAP is stuff she shouldn't do anyways. All right, understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Cerda. You were charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On January 21st, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. In the call notes from dispatch state, the reportee says an unknown party stole her neighbor's U-Haul trailer. Subjects were seen headed towards Pasadena Boulevard. The driver was a skinny, tall male, and the reportee lives on Buchanan Street and has camera footage of it happening. A witness stated he observed individuals taking the neighbor's U-Haul. The officers located the U-Haul and a felony stop was conducted. Defendant Hentoja was observed unloading items from the U-Haul, ran to the back of the residence, and prevented officers from arresting him. Defendants Lopez and Cerda remained in the U-Haul, and the complainant stated the value of the trailer was $1,800 and dirt on the trailer was $300.
I have so many questions.
Yes, Judge.
I don't even know where to start.
Judge, my concern is, if you may, I want to just bring some, I guess, some points of argument to the court's attention. The first one, my concern is that, I mean, the 911 caller mentioned unknown parties, and then the police officer later mentions them as suspects without any type of articulable facts, believe that they are the specific people or the individuals that have taken this U-Haul. Now, as we know, probable cause requires more than a hunch, more than suspicion. It requires something else, more than that. And that seems that that's all that the things, at least under the four corners of the things, allege that my client was involved with this alleged act.
I mean, remember, like, so when they start an investigation, sometimes they just don't have everything and facts develop in time.
Right.
Here, we have a call that several people have stolen a U-Haul,
Yes, Judge.
and they've given a description of a tall, lanky person,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, Judge. And respectfully, we defer to the court because all it says in the DIMS is that the defendant Cerda remained in the U-Haul. There's no further information regarding Cerda.
Where was he in the U-Haul? Was he in the actual U-Haul? Was he in the truck that was driving the U-Haul? How was he engaged in this alleged criminality? Like,
And Your
what
Honor,
can you just, does mere presence impute criminality?
Judge, and that's exactly right. Texas law says that mere presence is not enough to
Dude,
bring charges.
I'm with you.
Oh, yes, sir.
But, so,
we're not arguing against that, Your Honor. And like I said, we defer to the court because we don't have that information. We'd have to await the OR and we don't have that at this time. So-
but I'm not gonna sit here and
Yes,
hold
Judge.
someone.
And that's why we defer to the court.
Let's look at what the statute says, because, you know. A person commits an offense if with intent to establish, maintain, or participate in any combination or in the profits of a combination or as a member of a criminal street gang, the person commits or conspires to commit one or more of the following. One is murder, capital murder, arson, yada, yada, yada. Two, any gambling offense punishable by a Class A misdemeanor. Promotion of prostitution. Number four, unlawful manufacture, transportation, firearms. Which one are you relying on?
Your Honor, as is pled is that it's pled as theft as being the underlying basis of the engaging in criminal activity. And right now, Kelsey is looking at the case. We may very well dismiss this because of the insufficient evidence in the information in the DIMS, but right now Chief is looking at it.
And Your Honor, if we could just maybe reset it for a week or so, we call the witness. and we have to
No,
decide-
he's in custody, you know, And I can't, I mean, if he was on bond, that would be one thing, but he's in custody. I'm not gonna hold him just because, you know. And the compounding it, Casey, is that he's got an ice hold, so I can't give him a PR bond, you know?
I would just need, I mean, I just need a little more time on it to dismiss it right now.
Yeah, I'll find no PC because I just don't, think it's there for now. And then if you find something later on, you know, by all means, but all right, Mr. Sird, I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward in your case. Just, Mr. Serta, be careful who you hang out with, you know? Okay, all right, for sure.
Counsel.
Mr. England.